Coach, when you look at Arkansas State's offense, they've started a different quarterback each of the first two games. I guess.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Northern Illinois.
That's okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Yeah, yeah.
Northern Illinois.
Yes.
What are the differences between those two guys? And I guess how do you prepare not knowing which guy you're going to see?
Yeah, they're actually very similar guys. They're similar physically. They're about the same height, about the same weight. The offense doesn't seem to change at all based on one or the other. They both run that offense and manage it really well. They both played a year ago, so it's really more of the same. The starter that played against Eastern Illinois, started and played in their last regular season game in 2016. So they both played a bunch of football, and the offense is virtually the same.
When you look back, Coach, on the Oregon film,
Yes.
is there anything that jumps out at you about the pass rush and where you're at? Where are you at in that regard?
Yeah, no, we're doing everything we can to try to help facilitate, a growing, maturing, developing coverage, and that's a balance of some pressure and some four-man rush and some three-man rush. So these offenses are built. These find the ball. It's like a shell game. Who's got the ball? These offenses are built to create a lot of misdirection and a lot of problems in rushing the passer. They don't take a lot of negative plays. These offenses, this style of offense, they get the ball out very fast. Most of it is off of play pass. So the front is playing run. It is what it is. It's different. It's different even as it was, 5 years ago. Defending in 17 is very different than defending even just in recent history because of the change in rule where the offensive lineman can run off the line of scrimmage. So a lot of the plays look like runs. So it's not like you're into a pass rush mode until the critical situation elicits, a third down and long or an end of game. And that's to me one of the real points and takeaways from the last game. Right away you got a third down and 8, score. Third down and 8, score. Third down and 17 on play 30 something. Converted, set up a score. Tipped and it fell into the other guy's hands. So I mean, even with all the other stuff, there's opportunities there to get off the field, even outside of field goal range, and we got to capitalize on those moments.
Can you say where you're at as a whole defensive unit through two games in comparison maybe to what you would have envisioned as a script a month ago?
Well, there's a lot of change that's gone on in the last 30 days. For sure, the last 60 days. So, and that's such as life. I mean, it's not unique to Nebraska football. It's all over, and it's through years, and it'll be the same in the future. You have to roll with in a contact sport that's a challenging game, that things happen, and unfortunately, it's been in one room. It's been in one room. Basically 3 starters and their coach. So it's been an interesting month for that room. But at the same time, there are young players that can play, and they're really good guys, and they're tough, and they are on fire for their work. It's just a work in progress, and it's a developmental piece that's going to take playing in the games. And you had an opportunity to see it. The players at times were playing and thinking that they should be doing X, Y, Z rather than falling back to their training. We had a chance to settle down and play one play at a time, get the call, execute your job, nothing more, nothing less, and just see what happens. And sure enough, the plays looked better. Drives were put together, stops were put together, and before long a quarter ended, and then another drive, and then another drive, and then another quarter ended. And you got a chance to get a little bit of a surge there, for sure in teaching, to say, hey, this is what it looked like. For example, so after the game we'll make a we make a cut up, right? And we call the one plays that cause losing, and then the other we call the fight for every inch. And it's just a couple of things that we do for the unit. And by the time I got done making the cut up, most of the plays on the one cut up, I didn't intend them to be that way, but they were from the first half. And then most of the plays from the second cut up were from the second half. So, and I surely, to anyone listening, don't want to minimize this in any way. I don't want to come off that way. There's a gravity and a weight to this that I totally understand. I'm respectful of that, and honor that opportunity. And it doesn't look like it should look, and the points don't look like they should look. And that doesn't make it any more or less real that we're getting better. So unfortunately, that's true. We are getting better, and the games have gone the way they've gone, and it got better, and it will continue to get better, and the staff improves and the players improve.
When you have young corners and they're playing for the first time because you got some guys injured, how important is confidence? In other words, reminding these guys, we trust you, you're out there, you're doing fine, and you got to believe in yourself, or you're not going to play as well as you could.
Yeah, it's very important, but you know, when you're in the arena and you are trading blows, you know, you're the competitor, and you're either going to rise in that moment with competitive greatness, or there's going to be a moment where you wilt, and there's not a whole lot of words that can change that circumstance while it's happening, and no one intends to do that. You know, they all want it. They're all trying hard. They all want to do well, and we all want to do well. What happens is the confidence comes because you prepare, and then you have something good that happens to you, and then you feel good about it, and then you prepare better because you feel good about it, and then something else good happens to you, and then you feel better about yourself, so you prepare harder, and then more good things happen. And it just keeps spiraling. Something other than that would be just false, fake confidence. Might be okay in pregame, but once the ball turns over, it won't have lasting effects. Sorry about the length of that answer.
How difficult would it be for you guys going against a pro-style offense now after 2 weeks of going up against hurry-up teams, now going up against a team that plays in the slow
No,
league?
this is more of the same. This is 53 1/3. This is the race for space. This is find the guy with the ball, misdirection, shift trades and motions. It's attack, dive, alley, and force on every down. This is really very little difference, and I was a little shocked to see it. But this is very little different style than the first 2 weeks that we played. It's RPO, and why wouldn't they? The most inequitable rule in the history of college football was activated. And the offensive line can run off the line of scrimmage and be with their back foot 3 yards downfield. So now all the plays look like runs. But, hey, you know, America loves points.
Coach Reed and Aaron Williams in green jerseys today. Can you just speak to the reason behind that?
Yeah, Antonio had a procedure that he wouldn't been able to be in contact, but wanted to have full speed practice. So Coach Riley has a neat thing that the players are good and they just can't have contact, and only contact would be something that would decrease them. But other than that, they can go full speed. So Aaron and Antonio were in that phase. They got full speed action today. They practiced for the full scope of the work, and we're in a non-contact situation.